Earthgang is a rap duo hailing from Atlanta and they are on the Dreamville label. You should know Dreamville Records by now. It's got artists such as Baz, Ari Lennox, Jid, and of course by far the biggest artist on the label, J. Cole. Earthgang, however, have been around for quite a while, but they've never really broke out with a major record or a huge viral single or anything like that, even though they have got quite a dedicated fan base and they do actually have some pretty good projects under their belt so far. They've certainly got a dedicated fan base, but they don't have the type of audience that I've always expected them to have. I mean, I don't go on Twitter and I don't see every 5 minutes people telling me that Earthgang is underrated, and that does surprise me. They just seem to have that mass appeal, but this new album here, Mirrorland, I think might be the one that's pushing them over the edge. And I'm okay with this because I've come out of this album really enjoying it. I think it is really, really good. Not quite great, unfortunately, but I think they're very much on their way to pushing out some great projects in the future. Mirrorland is very much a playful, energetic, very youthful, I want to say too, album that I just have so much fun with. It really is as simple as that. I could end the review there because there isn't really much else to say about these songs. It is just one of those projects that you just stick on, you have a fun time, you're not really honing in on the lyrics, you're not really paying attention to the deeper nuances of the crazy rhyme schemes or anything like that. It just isn't one of those albums because these guys know their talents and they just keep to those, and their talents work in their favor. And I do feel like there is a missing piece in the current hip-hop landscape at the moment, and I think Earthgang might be the ones to kind of fill in that little role, because yeah, there's so much fun music, but all the fun music that we get today is very much trap leaning, it's very much banger heavy, and while there are a few bangers on this album, they do feel like they're in their own lane with that. There is a huge elephant in the room that needs to be addressed with this album though, and it is the Outkast comparisons that I constantly keep seeing. Andre 3000 in particular, but I see so many people say that they're the new Outkast after this album, and for sure you could make comparisons there and you could be like, well, they're not that, unique. They're not in their own lane just yet because they do sound like Outkast. But for me, I think that comparison's kind of weak. Sure, there are definitely 3 stacks, inflections in some of the vocals every now and then. But if you're going to really directly compare this to an Outkast album, I don't know what to say to you, man. I just don't know what to say. This is nothing like Equemini. This is nothing like Stankonia. Where are you getting this from? We always have to draw comparisons to the classics, and it just gets really annoying. And especially with an album like this, that really doesn't feel like anything like Outkast have ever put out. It just feels lazy to me. The bigger comparison with this album easily for me is Young Thug. Instantly I was getting Young Thug vibes throughout most of these tracks just because of that high energy, lack of care, balls to the wall approach that you get from Thugger, who just kind of yelps his way over these crazy beats. And the production isn't quite as on par as something as Jeffrey, but you're still getting that high energy from the rappers here themselves. And there even is a Young Thug feature on this album too, which completely works so damn well. That is just such a well crafted track. Thugger comes through doing his thing. Everyone just seems to be in the same mindset of this is what we're gonna do, and we're all just gonna give the same thing and it's gonna work, and it did. If there's any song that's gonna catch any major traction, perhaps some viral success from this album, it's gonna be Top Down. Top Down is just such a carefree anthem. The chorus completely soars. I think it is just such a lightning in a bottle moment for the album. I think it just captures everything that they do so well here. The track Bank is a bit of a surprise on the album too, because this is the one track that I think leans way more towards that southern trap flair that's definitely been a huge part of the Atlanta music scene. Definitely feels like they're paying homage to a lot of their contemporaries on this one, and they completely kill it as well. This is totally a track that you shouldn't be skipping over, if you're especially if you're like a fan of someone like DaBaby, who just kills beats like this instantaneously. The lyrics on this track really stick out though, quite badly in comparison to most of the other album. I think it's because of the beat they've gone for, and I think they're just kind of trying to match the intensity of what they're rapping over, so they end up just kind of blurting out all kinds of crap, and there are just some standout moments that really don't make sense. But you know, there are plenty of artists that do this all the time, and it often works. So maybe I'm being a bit too harsh on them here. The track Blue Moon has a killer chorus. That shit gets stuck in my head so easily. Once in a blue moon. Same with the track Stuck as well. I think they are just proving themselves at making such great choruses on tracks like these. I mean, throughout most of the album, they are really killing it with the choruses, but these ones in particular are just so sticky. They opt for something way smoother on the track Trippin', which features Kalani, who adds some really nice guest vocals here. I think she can sing really well when she's on her A game, but just at the end she has this random verse that's kind of tacked on. I just feel like it probably didn't need it. Would have been better for her to just add in those vocal snippets throughout the song, because I think it added a nice atmosphere to the track, but then when she's kind of just singing on her own at the end, it just felt a bit random. And while we're on the negative side of things, I may as well bring up the last track. I think this is such a weak closer, honestly. The track on its own, I think, is weak enough. I just don't think it has anything going for it that the other tracks on the album have, but especially as a closer, it just really sours the ending for me. It just kind of shows to me that while yes, they're showing off all these bright moments throughout the album, these sunny, banging tunes that are just so replayable, they also have this other side to them where they can sound quite lazy. It's not a major issue throughout the album, but there are definitely some verses where it just really feels like they're just on autopilot, really not putting in their best efforts and just kind of letting the track glide along with them, whereas there are other times where they're really giving it all, and that little dichotomy it just kind of ruins a few tracks, I think. But the highs really are high on here. I mean, I can't deny it. There are some great songs on here that I think just have so much replay value to them, as I've already said. It could be one of those albums that in a few months grows on me even more when I go back to it, but I think for now I'm going to go 7 out of 10. Isn't it? 7 out of 10 is a great score anyway, so I definitely think you should check it out based on that. Definitely not the most original thing. I want to point that out to you as well, just in case you're thinking that they are offering something completely fresh and unique. They're not, but I think they're honing in their own style slowly now. They do wear their influences on their sleeve for sure, but I think even just in comparison to the people on their own label, they're really offering something way better than what their contemporaries are offering at the moment. I just think they're offering something slightly different in the southern rap scene right now that I think I'm totally going to welcome in very easily, and I want to see where they take it in the future from here. Thank you for watching my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it. Let me know what you think of this album if you've heard it already. Thank you. Have a good day and goodbye.